The Prime Minister, he is in Senegal. He's continuing his push for support for Canada's UN Security Council bid. We want a seat. During a news conference, though, just a few moments ago, the Prime Minister was asked about his message to the anti-pipeline protesters. Here's what he said.
First of all, this is an issue that is of concern. Obviously, I've had regular briefings and updates, and we'll be speaking with ministers a little later today on exactly this issue. We recognize the important democratic right, and we will always defend it, of peaceful protest. This is an important part of our democracy in Canada. But we're also a country of the rule of law, and we need to make sure those laws are respected. That is why I am encouraging all parties to dialogue to resolve this as quickly as possible.
So the blockade is also having a significant impact on freight across this country. CTV's Michelle Boyer is in Ottawa with more on that. So Michelle, let's begin with that warning from CN Railway. If the blockades don't go, what are they saying?
Well, they're saying that traffic is going to come to a complete standstill. They're going to shut down significant portions of the network. And we're talking about these portions, the corridor between Toronto and Montreal, connecting the eastern and western parts of this country. Also, a significant corridor in British Columbia that goes out to the west coast. This is a big deal. And if you imagine all that red on your screen being a traffic jam and more traffic adds to it, well, the situation gets worse, which is why CN put out a statement yesterday saying that the blockades need to go. Take a look at what the president and CEO of CN sent us. They say we are currently parking trains across our network, but due to limited available space for such, CN will have no choice but to temporarily discontinue service in key corridors unless the blockades come to an end. The CEO also bringing up the fact that supply chains are impacted here, and it also hurts Canada internationally because when products cannot get to Tidewater, that is not good for the economy. Also, it doesn't show Canada off as a very good trading partner if supply chains are impacted because of these blockades.
Okay, so it's obviously having a major impact on commerce and freight, and now a new concern about consequences on our drinking water. What's that about?
Yeah, how do we clean drinking water in many municipalities across this country? Chlorine. You can't stockpile chlorine because it is volatile, it is dangerous. And there's a letter that was sent from a major chlorine manufacturer to the Minister of Transport warning that municipalities might be running out of chlorine to purify drinking water. Take a look at what the CEO of the Olin Corporation sent to Mark Garneau. 85% of Canadian municipal drinking water is treated by chlorine or chlorine derivatives to keep it clean and safe from pathogens. We are concerned that consumers and municipalities will not receive shipments of vital chemicals during chlorine within 1 week. And if you're wondering why not ship it by truck, well, chlorine apparently can only be transported by train. It is the safest way to transport it. Again, a volatile product. Reached out to Minister Mark Garneau's office for a response to this specific concern. And he says they're concerned with the impact the blockades are having on the movement of goods across the country. The government is seized with the issue, and we're working across a number of departments to find a solution to this issue, this specific issue. So I think a lot of people waiting to see. And what we have heard from the federal government is a lot of deviating and saying, listen, this is in the hands of the Ontario provincial government about this particular blockade. So they're waiting to see what happens, Marcia.
Okay, Michelle Boyer with more from Ottawa. Thank you, Michelle, for that.